Narrator. Hello, fantastic English learners, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast's beginner series. I'm your narrator, and I'm thrilled you're joining us today. Have you ever thought about what makes your taste buds happy? What food do you always enjoy eating? What dish brings a smile to your face? Our favorite foods are often linked to happy memories, culture, and comfort. Talking about what we love to eat is a wonderful way to share a little about ourselves and connect with others. It's a very common and enjoyable topic in everyday conversations, whether you're meeting someone new or just sharing a meal with friends. That's why today we're focusing on talking about your favorite food in English. Learning simple words and phrases to describe your favorite dishes, their flavors, and how they make you feel will give you a great boost in your conversational skills. In this episode, you're about to hear a natural and easy-to-follow conversation between two friends, Sophia and Ethan. They'll talk about their favorite foods, what kind of tastes they like, how these foods are prepared, and why they enjoy them so much. They'll use simple English, making it easy for you to understand and start describing your own delicious preferences. After their conversation, we'll have a short, active practice session to help you use these new words and phrases yourself. Listen closely to their simple English and the useful vocabulary they use. Get ready to expand your vocabulary and practice listening just by tuning in. Let's dive into the conversation. Sophia: Hi Ethan. How are you doing today? It's great to see you. I was just having lunch and it made me think about food, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. So what's your favorite food, Ethan? What kind of dish makes you really happy to eat? Ethan: Hi Sophia. I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. It's great to see you too. Oh, that's an excellent question. Food is definitely a great topic. My favorite food, the one I can eat almost every day, is pizza. I just love pizza. It's so versatile. You can put so many different toppings on it. I especially love margherita pizza, which is simple with just tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and fresh basil. The crust is important too. I like it thin and crispy. It's comforting and delicious, and it always tastes good. What about you, Sophia? What's your favorite food? Is it something sweet or savory? Something hot or cold? Sophia: Pizza is a fantastic choice, Ethan. I totally agree, it's so versatile, and a classic margherita with thin, crispy crust is truly delicious. It's a perfect comfort food. My favorite food, the one I could eat every day, is sushi. I absolutely love sushi. I know some people might find it unusual because it often has raw fish, but the flavors are so fresh and clean. I especially love salmon nigiri, that's rice with a slice of salmon on top, and California rolls, which have avocado, cucumber, and crab meat inside. I love the taste of fresh fish, the slightly sour rice, and a little bit of soy sauce. It's light, healthy, and incredibly tasty. It makes me feel good after eating it. What about the flavors you like in your pizza, Ethan? Do you prefer savory, spicy, or something else? Ethan: Sushi sounds so fresh and healthy, Sophia. Salmon nigiri and California rolls sound like delicious choices. I can appreciate the clean and light flavors you describe, and it's great that it makes you feel good. I don't eat it often, but I can see why it's your favorite. For pizza, I definitely prefer savory flavors. I like the taste of ripe tomatoes in the sauce, the salty cheese, and sometimes I like a bit of pepperoni or mushrooms for a meaty, earthy taste. I don't like my pizza too spicy, just a little bit of black pepper maybe. I also love the crispy, slightly burnt taste of the crust from a hot oven. It's all about those rich, warm, and savory sensations for me. How do you usually eat your sushi, Sophia? Do you use chopsticks or your hands? And do you eat it with soy sauce or wasabi or ginger? Sophia: That's a great description of pizza flavors, Ethan. The savory taste of tomato, salty cheese, and the crispy crust. I can perfectly imagine why you enjoy those warm, rich sensations. For my sushi, I usually use chopsticks, but sometimes I use my hands for nigiri because it's traditional and easy. I always eat it with a little bit of soy sauce. I dip the fish side into the sauce, not the rice. And I love a tiny bit of wasabi, that's the green, spicy paste, to give it a kick, but not too much. I also eat a piece of pickled ginger between different types of sushi to clean my palate. It's a very specific way to eat it, but it enhances the experience. What kind of crust do you prefer for your pizza, Ethan? You mentioned thin and crispy, but do you like deep dish or stuffed crust too? And do you like a lot of cheese or just a little? Ethan: That's very specific, Sophia. And it sounds like you truly enjoy the full sushi experience. Using chopsticks or hands, dipping the fish side in soy sauce and a little bit of wasabi for a kick. That's the authentic way. And using pickled ginger to clean your palate is a smart touch. For pizza crust, my absolute favorite is thin and crispy. I love how it cracks when you bite into it and it doesn't make the pizza too heavy. I'm not a big fan of deep dish pizza. I find it too thick and too much dough. Stuffed crust is okay sometimes for a change, but it's not my go-to. And for cheese, I like a moderate amount, enough to be gooey and cheesy, but not so much that it covers all the other flavors. I like to taste the tomato sauce and the toppings too. How often do you eat sushi, Sophia? Is it a special treat or something you eat regularly? Sophia, that's clear, Ethan. Thin and crispy crust for the win with a moderate amount of cheese. It makes perfect sense that you want to taste all the flavors, not just the cheese or dough. As for how often I eat sushi, it's a bit of both. I try to eat sushi at least once a week, usually from my favorite local sushi restaurant. It's often my Friday night dinner, a nice way to start the weekend. So I would say it's quite regular. Sometimes I even try to make simple sushi rolls at home, but it's much harder than it looks. It's not just a special treat, it's a food I crave often. Do you ever make pizza at home, Ethan? Or do you always order it from a restaurant or buy it from a store? And what kind of drinks do you usually have with your pizza? Ethan, eating sushi at least once a week, often on Friday nights, sounds like a delicious and healthy routine, Sophia. That's quite regular, and it's interesting that you sometimes try to make it at home, even if it's challenging. It shows your dedication to your favorite food. As for making pizza, I do sometimes make pizza at home, especially if I have some free time on the weekend. It's fun to choose all the ingredients and make it exactly how I like it. I usually buy a pre-made pizza dough from the supermarket to save time, and then I add my own sauce, cheese, and toppings. It's a fun activity. But most of the time I order it from a local pizzeria, especially if I want a really thin and crispy crust like a margarita. For drinks with pizza, I usually have cold soda like cola or sometimes just water. A cold drink always goes well with warm, savory pizza. Is there any specific kind of fish you like most in your sushi, Sophia? Or are you open to trying different types of seafood in your rolls? Sophia, that's great, Ethan, that you sometimes make pizza at home. Buying pre-made dough is a smart shortcut, and it sounds like a fun, customizable activity for the weekend. And a cold soda or water with pizza is a classic combo. For sushi, my absolute favorite fish is salmon. I love its rich, buttery taste and its beautiful orange color. I also really enjoy tuna, the red one, for its firm texture and mild flavor. I'm open to trying different types of seafood in my rolls, like shrimp or eel, but salmon and tuna are my top two. I usually avoid very strong-tasting fish or very unusual seafood. It's all about the freshness for me. What kind of toppings do you always put on your homemade pizza, Ethan? Are there some toppings you can't imagine eating pizza without? Ethan, that's a clear preference, Sophia. Salmon for its buttery taste and tuna for its texture sound like excellent choices. And focusing on freshness is key for sushi, so it makes sense to avoid very strong or unusual flavors. For my homemade pizza toppings, I always put fresh mushrooms and pepperoni. Those are my must-haves. I love the earthy flavor of mushrooms and the slightly spicy, savory taste of pepperoni. Sometimes I add green peppers or onions, but mushrooms and pepperoni are essential. I also like a little bit of fresh basil after it's cooked, like on a margarita. These toppings just make the pizza perfect for me. Do you have a favorite side dish or starter you like to eat with your sushi, Sophia? Like miso soup or edamame? Sophia, yes. Mushrooms and pepperoni are classic pizza toppings, Ethan. They sound like a perfect combination for savory and earthy flavors. And fresh basil after cooking adds a lovely touch. For sushi, I definitely have favorite side dishes. I almost always start with a miso soup. It's a warm, savory soup with tofu and seaweed, and it's very comforting, especially before cold sushi. I also love edamame, which are steamed green soybeans with a little salt. They are a healthy and delicious snack. Sometimes, if I'm really hungry, I might also order some gyoza, which are Japanese dumplings. They are usually pan-fried and very tasty. These starters prepare my palate for the sushi. Do you have a favorite dessert you like to eat after pizza, Ethan? Or do you prefer something light or no dessert at all? Ethan. Miso soup, edamame, and gyoza all sound like excellent and delicious starters for sushi, Sophia. Miso soup sounds very comforting, and edamame is definitely a healthy and popular snack. Gyoza, the dumplings, are always a good choice too. It sounds like you have a perfect full meal experience with your sushi. As for dessert after pizza, I usually prefer something light, or sometimes no dessert at all because pizza can be quite filling. But if I do have a dessert, my favorite is a simple scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's light, sweet, and cooling after warm pizza. I don't like heavy or very rich desserts after a savory meal like pizza. Sometimes just a piece of fresh fruit is also nice. Do you like any specific kind of dessert after your sushi, Sophia? Or are you usually too full after all the delicious rolls and starters? Sophia. Vanilla ice cream after pizza sounds like a perfect light and sweet ending, Ethan. It's cooling and just the right touch after a filling meal. I can definitely see why you prefer something simple. For me, after sushi I am usually quite full, but if I have space for dessert I really love matcha ice cream or mochi ice cream. Matcha ice cream has a unique, slightly earthy green tea flavor, and mochi ice cream is ice cream wrapped in a soft, chewy rice cake. They are very different from traditional desserts and are light and refreshing after the sushi. Sometimes just some fresh fruit like melon or oranges is also a good choice. Is there any food you really dislike, Ethan? Something you absolutely never want to eat, perhaps because of its taste or texture? Ethan. Matcha ice cream and mochi ice cream sound very unique and delicious, Sophia. Matcha has a distinct flavor, and mochi ice cream sounds like a fun, chewy texture experience. Those are definitely very appropriate and refreshing desserts after sushi. As for food I really dislike, yes, there is one. I absolutely cannot stand olives. I don't like their salty, strong, and sometimes bitter taste. I also dislike their texture. If olives are on a pizza, I always have to pick them off. I try to avoid them in any dish. It's just a flavor that I don't enjoy at all. Is there any food you really dislike, Sophia? Something you would never eat no matter what? Sophia. Olives. That's a very clear dislike, Ethan. Their salty, strong, and sometimes bitter taste plus the texture makes perfect sense why you pick them off pizza. It's common for people to have one or two foods they just can't stand. For me, the food I really dislike and would never eat is cilantro, also known as coriander leaf in some places. For me, it tastes like soap. I know many people love it, but for me it ruins any dish it's in. Even a small amount makes the whole meal taste bad. So, I always ask for no cilantro when I order food, especially in Mexican or Indian restaurants. It's a very strong flavor that I just can't tolerate. Do you prefer to eat your favorite food, pizza, at home, or do you like to go out to a restaurant, Ethan? And does the atmosphere of the place matter to you? Ethan. Cilantro tasting like soap. That's a very common experience for some people, Sophia, and it's completely understandable why you dislike it so much. It's definitely a strong flavor that can dominate a dish. It's smart to always ask for no cilantro. For my favorite food, pizza, I usually prefer to eat it at home. I love the comfort of being on my own sofa watching a movie and eating pizza from the box. It feels very relaxed and personal. Sometimes if I want to have a social meal with friends, we might go to a casual pizzeria, but for my personal enjoyment, home is best. The atmosphere at home matters because it's comfortable and familiar. If I go out, I prefer a casual, relaxed atmosphere, not too fancy. What about you, Sophia? Do you prefer to eat your favorite food, sushi, at home, or do you like to go to a sushi restaurant? And how important is the atmosphere of the restaurant for you? Sophia. That's a good point, Ethan. Eating pizza at home on your sofa sounds incredibly comfortable and relaxed. The atmosphere of being familiar and personal is definitely a big plus. And a casual pizzeria for social meals makes perfect sense. For my sushi, I usually prefer to eat it at a sushi restaurant. I love the experience of sitting at the sushi counter watching the chefs prepare the sushi right in front of me. The fresh fish and the skilled preparation are part of the experience. The atmosphere is very important for me. I like a calm, clean, and authentic Japanese-style restaurant. It adds to the enjoyment of the food. Sometimes I get sushi for takeout and eat it at home, but the restaurant experience is always better for me. Feels more special. Is there any kind of special occasion when you always eat pizza, Ethan? Like for a birthday or a specific holiday? Ethan, watching the sushi chefs prepare the food right in front of you sounds like a wonderful experience, Sophia. That makes perfect sense why you prefer eating sushi at a restaurant. The calm, clean, and authentic atmosphere clearly enhances your enjoyment. It truly turns it into a special occasion. For me, pizza is often linked to casual gatherings or movie nights. It's not really for a formal special occasion like a birthday dinner, but it's my go-to food for when friends come over to watch a football game, or when I'm having a relaxed evening watching movies at home. It's the perfect sharing food for those kinds of informal, fun moments. It just fits perfectly with that relaxed social atmosphere. Do you often have sushi with friends, Sophia, or is it more of a personal treat for you? Sophia, that's a great distinction, Ethan. Pizza as the perfect food for casual gatherings and movie nights with friends makes total sense. It's the ultimate relaxed sharing food. For sushi, it's a bit of both. I often enjoy sushi as a personal treat, especially when I'm looking for a quiet, delicious meal for myself. However, I also love to have sushi with friends and family. It's a wonderful way to share different roles and try more varieties. It's a great food for conversation because you can pick and choose what you like. So, it can be a personal indulgence or a fun group meal, depending on the situation. Do you have a favorite type of cheese on your pizza, Ethan? Is it just mozzarella or do you like other cheeses too? Ethan, that's a great balance, Sophia. Enjoying sushi both as a personal indulgence and a fantastic sharing meal with friends and family. Being able to try different rolls together sounds like a fun way to experience more of the menu. For cheese on my pizza, my favorite is definitely mozzarella. I love how it melts and becomes gooey and slightly salty, but it's not too strong in flavor. I don't usually like very strong cheeses like blue cheese on my pizza. Sometimes a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top after it's cooked can add a nice extra savory touch. But mozzarella is the main cheese for me. It's the classic pizza cheese for a reason. How important is the freshness of the ingredients for your sushi, Sophia? Can you tell if the fish is not fresh? Sophia, mozzarella is definitely the classic pizza cheese, Ethan. And I agree, its gooey texture and mild flavor are perfect. A little Parmesan on top sounds like a great addition too. For sushi, the freshness of the ingredients is extremely important. It's perhaps the most important thing. I can definitely tell if the fish is not fresh. It won't have that clean, slightly sweet taste and the texture will be different, not firm and smooth. Fresh fish is essential for good sushi. It makes all the difference in taste and quality. I only eat sushi from places I trust to have very fresh ingredients. It's a key part of what makes sushi delicious and safe to eat. What is your perfect drink to go with your pizza, Ethan? Beyond just soda, is there a specific one that's just right? Ethan, the extreme importance of freshness for sushi makes perfect sense, Sophia. It's clear that the taste and texture of fresh fish are absolutely essential for a good sushi experience, and that you only trust places with high quality. For the perfect drink with my pizza, beyond just soda, I would say it's a cold glass of sparkling apple juice. It has that sweet and slightly tangy taste and the bubbles are refreshing. It cuts through the richness of the cheese and sauce perfectly. It's my ideal match for a comforting pizza. Do you have a dream sushi meal, Sophia? Maybe a very special kind of sushi you want to try, or a famous sushi restaurant you hope to visit one day. Sophia, sparkling apple juice with pizza sounds like a lovely and refreshing combination, Ethan. The sweet and tangy taste plus the bubbles definitely sounds like it would cut through the richness of the pizza perfectly. It's a great specific choice. For me, my dream sushi meal would be to visit a very traditional high-end sushi restaurant in Japan, probably a very small one with only a few seats. I would love to try omakase, which means the chef chooses the dishes for you based on the freshest ingredients of the day. It's usually very expensive, but it's an art form. I would love to experience the highest quality, most authentic sushi in the world. It's a dream for sure. Is there a pizza place you want to visit, Ethan? Maybe a very famous pizzeria in Italy or somewhere special. Ethan, omakase at a traditional high-end sushi restaurant in Japan, where the chef chooses for you. That sounds like an incredible once-in-a-lifetime dream sushi meal, Sophia. It truly is an art form and I can see why you'd want to experience the highest quality and authenticity. That's a fantastic food dream. For me, My dream pizza place would definitely be to visit a traditional pizzeria in Naples, Italy. Naples is considered the birthplace of pizza, especially margherita pizza, which is my favorite. I would love to taste an authentic Neapolitan pizza cooked in a traditional wood-fired oven. I imagine the crust would be perfectly crispy and chewy, and the sauce and cheese would be incredibly fresh and simple. It would be amazing to eat pizza where it originated. It's a classic dream for any pizza lover. Sophia, that's a perfect dream, Ethan. Visiting a traditional pizzeria in Naples, the birthplace of pizza, to taste an authentic Neapolitan pizza cooked in a wood-fired oven. That sounds absolutely incredible, especially for a margherita lover like you. The fresh ingredients and perfect crust would be an amazing experience. It's wonderful to have food dreams like these. It's been really great talking about our favorite foods today. I've learned so much about your love for pizza and all the delicious details. Yes, it has been, Sophia. I've really enjoyed hearing about your passion for sushi, your specific preferences, and your dream to try omakase in Japan. It's always so interesting to hear what people are passionate about eating. It helps me understand you better. Sophia, it definitely does, Ethan. It helps us connect over shared joys. Well, it was really nice talking to you about our favorite foods. I should probably get going now. I have to pick up some groceries. Ethan, of course, Sophia. I understand completely. I hope you find some delicious ingredients. It was really nice catching up with you and learning so much about your favorite food. Have a great rest of your day. Sophia, you too, Ethan. Enjoy your next pizza. See you around soon. Ethan, see you, Sophia. Practice session. Your turn to speak. Narrator. Alright, it's your turn to practice. I'll ask you a question about food just like Sophia and Ethan did. Listen to my question, then say your answer aloud. Try to use the new phrases you heard today. What's your favorite food? Good. Now, what do you like about its taste? Excellent. One more. Do you eat it often? Narrator. Fantastic work. Now just quickly repeat these two important phrases after me. My favorite food is pasta. It tastes delicious. Narrator. You're doing great. Keep practicing talking about your favorite food in English. Conclusion. Narrator. Wow, you've done an incredible job today. You just practiced talking about a very personal and enjoyable topic. Your favorite food in English. You can now confidently talk about what food you love, describe its flavors, how it's prepared, and why it makes you happy. This is a fantastic step in your English journey. Remember to use these new phrases every day. The next time you're talking about food, try to describe your favorite dish to yourself or a friend. Every time you practice, you're building real confidence step by wonderful step. Keep learning, keep speaking. Don't miss our next lesson in the beginner series. Goodbye for now.